Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chef's Meal, where we talk about whatever and never and everything else in between.
I am ready. I am good.
Okay. This is the part where we play the intro, but ladies and gentlemen, I just want to start with we are live every week. You can catch our show on YouTube. Please subscribe to us, to our channel. You can check out Sean over there, MetroCard X on Twitter. And you can have any questions or any concerns, comments on AskChefSalty.com at Gmail. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Casey.
My name is Sean, and we're two chefs living our lives one finished plate at a time,
And it's all about whatever and ever.
and everything in between.
So we are two chefs just chilling in this COVID season. Sean, how are you doing?
I'm doing all right, man. I'm holding it. I'm holding it together.
This is a question I will always ask
Another
you.
week is going by.
You know, we are mid-August. Have you realized
Yeah,
this?
dude. Yeah, like I trust me. I realize. Yeah, it's the 15th of August, and that means that I have been out of work and out of my restaurant literally for 5 months straight.
Sean,
And it still blows my mind because way back in March, we really thought like, man, by April 1st, we're going to be back in there,
by April, you were
getting
thinking,
things done. And here we are. It is the middle of August.
wow. Okay,
And,
so future thinking,
it's, Mhm.
do you think that they will close the restaurant?
I don't, it put me in a really
Just think about it,
difficult
like,
spot.
I know it's like,
So, I mean, I don't know what I can say because I don't want to be speaking specifically for, my company and its intentions. But from what was explained to me recently, I would think that would be unlikely. How about that?
okay, I'll take unlikely. Let me just clap one more time. Because give or take, most people don't realize this. Sean's restaurant have been rehauled for a good, I don't know. They spent like 2-3 million just revamping the entire place.
Yeah, they renovated that particular restaurant last year this time, and at the time I want to say because I had switched back to be working with you, but I want to say like they had closed for business in June, and thought it was going to take about a month or so to reopen, but ended up reopening again for business in late August, early September.
Yeah, I don't know.
So yeah, just about a year to date is when they reopened after remodeling. So, the company invested a lot into the space, and that would incline me to believe, at least from my vantage point, that
It'll still
they
be
would
open.
be reopening.
I hope it's still open because if you think about it, did you know that the other stores outside of Boston have closed? Philly Airport,
Yeah, again,
Philly Airport's closed.
I'm
Crystal's closed.
aware of some things. Yeah. Like I said, I don't know. It kind of puts me in a difficult spot
I
because
know.
I don't want to specifically talk
I know.
for the company.
Gotcha,
But
gotcha.
I will say like I am aware, and I think some of that stuff is public.
Quite a bit. Again, without saying any names, it's a difficult time in the restaurant business.
Sure.
A lot of day-to-day business that rely on business to the week or to the day requires that money for it to function the following day or the following week, the following month,
Yeah.
etc. So without having all that influx in there, it puts us in a difficult position. However, Sean, can I just tell you what's been happening in my country
Please.
club? Sean, Monday we had a party. Okay, so here's how the week happened. The week prior, we were okay. There was just one big party on the weekend. It was Friday. Not a big deal. However, that Monday, there was 100 people coming in for lunch that we had to prep for. So we prepped it Saturday-ish into Sunday, making sure we had enough for the lunch. And then lunch happened. I wasn't there. Tuesday, I was there, and we were prepping for the Wednesday party, also for lunch, that ended up canceling. So if you think about it, it's 100 people were there, but they had to cancel because of weather. Guess what happened to all that product?
Right in the trash.
In the trash, my guy. That was $4,000 for that party. And I was like, ooh, that had this thing that comes right off the bottom line. Okay. Thursday, we had Pot of Gold, which is the main event that kind of happens every week. We had to put it on a Thursday because Chef is leaving. He actually is away this weekend. He had to drop his son off back to school, to college.
Okay.
So it happened on a Thursday, which was, it was okay. But we had a lot of on-hand people on deck. So it kind of just flowed out. It was awesome. Friday, we had another party for dinner. They call it a twilight or whatever because it happens at night, like around 7 or 8 p.m. Golfing, which is weird, but okay, whatever. Maybe they're just putting outside. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what these people do. That was about 75 people. So Sean, just back to back to back to back. I am a little beat. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been burning the midnight oil, the candle, whatever you want to say. That's happened today.
All of the above.
A, B, C, D, and E. All of the above.
You're running down the Mophie charger.
And you know what's bad about it? My body's used to it, which is horrible. I feel physically tired. My brain is tired, but my body is not giving up because it's used to it. So I'm just like, what do you do, Sean? I was sauteing spinach. Here's a picture.
Shout out to Sayla.
here's a picture for you, for everybody else that's listening. Okay. Also low key, sub to our YouTube channel. I was sauteing spinach today on the line like 4 hours ago. Okay. I'm looking at the spinach blip in the pan. I'm like, you know what? That's a nice looking spinach. I look to the side. I'm like, you know what? That spinach doesn't look too good. So I just moved it like an inch away. I'm looking. I'm like, and I'm talking to myself. I'm conversing in my head. I'm like, this spinach is gonna be good. Sorta, kinda. Maybe if I don't flip it this way. I'm losing my brain. I'm losing my brain ever so slightly. That's kind of how tired I'm gonna say. I don't use that word very often, but I'm tired. I'm not gonna lie.
Casey, I would tell you it's definitely time to take a break when the food talks back.
The food was talking, Sean. The spinach was saying to turn me. Sean, the spinach.
That's when you turn your pilot off and you ask for someone else to hold down your station.
It's like, you know what? However, there's a little light at the end of the sun. Tomorrow's supposed to be weather inclement, right? So we're supposed to get a little bit of rain. If that happens, I might have a day off. Might.
Hey,
I'm really looking forward to that. So please put in your prayers
for bad weather, but prayers up for Casey getting some sleep.
Just need a little bit of sleep. Not too crazy. I feel slap happy. That's how I feel. You know, when you get to a point of exhaustion, you just kind of, everything seems funny to you, just like that spinach today. But nonetheless, I'm home. We were great. Nothing too crazy. I think that's going to happen to you soon when you finally do go back to work because your body was used to the hours.
Yeah, I'm sure being back in that atmosphere, that energy is going to be tough to readjust to up front. Because I'm just thinking about like all of the stuff that like, you know, you have to endure to, you know, be productive. I mean, you're on your feet all day. You're dealing with the hot, the extreme cold, like, you know, just the dexterity. You're trying to like listen to things like right next to you, but also be attentive to stuff on the other side of a noisy kitchen.
Yeah.
There's the clanging, the banging, you know, trying to keep track of your tickets as well as all these like different requests, you know, and that's on top of like your management, you know, duties and, you know, trying to save some resources for all the stuff you got going on in your life outside of that moment.
That is true.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot to readjust to. It's been
a while.
Like it's been like, all jokes aside, it's been so long since I've made any seafood. Like seriously, legitimately. You know, with some of my coworkers, we have like a little group chat, and you know, one of the other managers was, you know, made a post of some like salmon she had made, and I was like, it has been weeks since I made some salmon. So I immediately went to the store and like
got a salmon,
got some shrimp. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I didn't happen to get any salmon then. Didn't have anything that looked good to me. But I did get some shrimp, and I was like, all right, I gotta like
make something.
do some different shrimp things. Yeah, like so I did some fried shrimp. I'm gonna do some shrimp tacos maybe tomorrow.
Ooh.
But like, it just out of the rhythm of doing that.
Yeah.
And cooking in your home is no substitute for cooking in a professional kitchen.
Yeah.
In terms of like the responsibilities, in terms of like how you ultimately prep, and how you need to be using your burners, like just the rhythm of that is like different.
It's definitely different. Yeah. Just the environment alone, and how we have the mise en place in front of us, it's like world of difference from your home to the restaurant, because in the restaurant everything's in face value, you can access it. At home you need to prep it, and then it'll be face value, but then that degrades from whatever the cooking time you're doing, so it's different altogether. But yeah, it's a work in progress, I should say. That's how I'm feeling. I need to get used to the 6 hours. Sometimes, chef will even at one point put me for 7 days. I'm like, I love you guys.
Hey man,
I do.
Slow down.
I do. But
slow down.
At least give me one day.
You have to rest.
Give me a day. I understand.
Dude, I made mashed potatoes for like the first time the other day too, and this is a staple. You guys don't understand. Like, we're making like mashed potatoes every single day, in our restaurant, and I might have made mashed potatoes twice since March. One of which was the other day. I was like, I wonder if the baby would like mashed potatoes. Let's try this out.
I wonder if she would like it. Absolutely.
I wonder if she would. She did like it. She did like it. She was all about it.
I actually made our mashed potato recipe at the restaurant, and they liked it.
Oh snap!
They liked it. I was just like,
better send Roger a check.
He gets a little cut of it. But the only thing that's different, how we use a ricer in the restaurant? So for everybody that's listening, a ricer is a food mill that grates whatever food you put into it. Like, not a fine dust, but enough that it will get sieved through the item and falls out into like a really fluffy texture. In this restaurant, they don't use a sieve. They use a not a stand mixer, but a big old, like a 20 quart a 20 quart KitchenAid, pretty much.
Okay.
And then it just has like a big paddle that you're using. I'm just like, whatever. That's what the tool we have. That's what I'm going to
How did that change the consistency?
If you can remember in our restaurant, when you put a ricer, everything was fluffy because everything will get pulled through it. This one, some pieces will be huge, some pieces will be small, and I can't let it stay on the paddle for too long because then it'll get pulverized, which that's what it does. But you can't let it stay not too long enough, because then it'll be too chunky. So yeah, there's like a fine line. So I'd figured if I just get it halfway and then do it myself, just kind of mash it through, it's fine. But Sean, we're only going through like 5 pounds of mash. That's it. And they're using this big equipment. I don't understand the processes in places. So I have a lot of questions. And today, fun fact, the owner was kind of out and about, and he was kind of poking around, a lot of questions. And they keep mentioning there's this wall that I call it. So front of the house and back of the house, owner, all don't gel. So they're all just kind of slapping into this middle wall, which is okay. But at the same time, the owner, the GM, and the chef needs to be like this, right? That's how we function.
Sure.
That's how we need to be together.
To have a clear vision for what you're trying to execute.
So the fish tacos today, we've been doing this way, at least from my perspective. I've been at it for 4 weeks in this restaurant. This is my 5th week. We've been at this for 3 weeks, this live menu. We've been sending out this fish tacos that isn't really full fish, Sean. It's like little chunks of fish.
Okay.
Fried on a taco. He comes up, and this must be like around 6 p.m. He comes up, it's like, what the hell is that? And we're just like, I don't know. This is a fish taco. It's like, I never okayed this, blah, blah. And I'm just like, it's been going out there for weeks. Did you, by any chance, not? This is what's going through my brain. I was like, why?
Sure.
Why did the owner not see that this is how the fish tacos come through? And then the GM's kind of right next to him, and she's like, that's how it's been going out. So he's mad because he didn't know. And then I'm like, why didn't chef tell him or send him a picture? This is how fish tacos should look like. So like I said, it's just kind of going like this. The three of them. I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So to kind of ease their pain, I was like, I'm working with chef to do this. So I sent them my PDF files, with a picture, how to plate, how to cook, how it looks like, pretty much like how we would do in standard in our kitchens. They're like, oh my God, this would help. I was like, yeah, this is how it should be, because nobody knows how to do it. There's 3 kitchens going around.
Especially if like that information's in a place that the front of the house staff can see as well as the back of the house staff.
Yeah, it should be just, that way. Like it should be uniform.
It's a standard to be held to.
Yeah. So that's what we're kind of working.
Not at the whim of whomever's on that day.
I should say, it's a clusterfuck of shit happening all at one time. I don't understand. I'm trying to help slowly and steadily, but it is what it is. One step at a time. The main hurdle for my 3 weeks there is because, or rather, I should say, my main hurdle is the servers are not bringing in their tickets without table numbers. So if you can picture in an old school kitchen, you would bring in your app, entree, or if they have like a salad, all in one ticket, right? Mm-hmm. Obviously, you'd fire the apps first, and then they would send in another second ticket, say fire entree. But beforehand, we didn't have any table tickets or table numbers, and we're like, what the fuck entree are they trying to fire? Blah, blah, blah. And then they get busy. And that's like another hurdle, Sean. Like, front of house is insane. I wish we had our guys there to just teach these people for a whole month, just to kind of get everybody just gelled out. And then y'all can bounce. Pretty much, like, thank you for your support. You've done your business, you've done your dues. Because we're efficient. That's what we do. That's what we do in our restaurant. I know it. That's how we function. I'm trying to bring that same functionality in this restaurant. But it's a lot of he said, she said, owner said, I don't know. But anyway, Sean, are you ready for your Tech Tuesday? If
Sean's
you have
Tech
one?
Tuesday.
Yeah, I do. And I pretty much just have.
Sean's Tech Tuesday.
Okay, Tech Tuesday. Sean's Tech Tuesday on a Saturday, ladies and gentlemen.
On a Saturday. So this one's about video gaming, and I know that kind of been talking about video games the last couple of weeks. But pretty big story in the video game industry. And it's about Fortnite. And Fortnite being removed from the Apple and Google stores. And the company Epic is taking both companies to court. Right? So I guess for the people listening, if they're not familiar, Fortnite is one of the most popular games on the planet.
Yeah.
And and as it is, you can play Fortnite in a bunch of different places. You can play it on your PlayStation, your Xbox, on your Nintendo Switch, on PC. You could, up until this week, download it to play from the Apple App Store to play on your iPod and iPhone.
Yeah.
And on the Google Store to play on your Android device. And the way Fortnite works is it's a free-to-play game. So that means that, the functionality that you need to play the game is free. But if you want cosmetic items and such, those you can make additional purchases for.
Yeah.
And the reason why Fortnite was removed from the Apple and Google stores is because Epic, the company who produces the game, they feel as if they shouldn't be beholden to the payment processing fees that Apple and Google charge. Specifically, like they feel like both of those companies have like a de facto monopoly on how like payments are processed.
They really do, though.
Earlier in the week, what they did is they kind of they put out an update to the game. And with the update to the game, they kind of dropped in a secondary payment method. So when you luck in the game, you could buy their virtual currency, and pretty much you could still buy it the way you were buying it before, either through Apple or Google. But if you were buying it directly through Epic, they were offering a 20% discount.
Yeah.
So obviously, people, if you're logging into the game and you're playing a game, you're gonna want to spend less money for the thing that you like. And immediately, like, Apple pulled them from the App Store, saying that this is in a clear, direct violation of the terms of service, on their platform. And shortly thereafter, Google did the same thing.
Yeah.
What was also interesting is in the Fortnite game, and I think you kind of have a still from the video that they played. Epic was playing a video in which they kind of depict Apple as like this monolith, and it was like really, really weird. It was like
this is from
almost like propaganda. Like it was like a propaganda film.
If you remember, this was a propaganda from the 90s, Sean. Like that that one movie.
It's actually like it's an homage to an Apple commercial from the 90s. Which was like really, really interesting, and obviously, is evidence that Epic was prepared.
They were ready for this
to kind of litigate this in the court of public opinion.
They were ready for this
when they were making the changes to their game. I mean, you can still, if you have that game downloaded to your Apple device, your Google, your Android device, you can still play it. If you're willing to circumvent the Google Play Store, you can still download it directly from Epic, and play that way. But it's kind of interesting to see, this company, Fortnite being a part a game by Epic, and Epic being a company owned by Tencent, which is one of the largest like Chinese tech firms in the world. To see them kind of take a stand against Apple and Google. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out, going forward. I mean, personally, I think they're probably going to come to some kind of terms and maybe work out some sort of favorable pricing structure. And maybe even that'll set precedent for other companies who are looking to do the same thing. But that's my big Tech Tuesday for this week.
Sean, correct me if I'm wrong. All apps needs to go through either Apple or Google, correct? For them to be live on.
Not necessarily, because I mean, at least on the Apple Store, you need to go through. I mean, on iOS, you need, for the most part, to go through the App Store to legally function on an iOS device. I mean, you can jailbreak your phone, and you can kind of use some of the third-party app stores that exist that way. And on Google for Android, it is an open platform, so you can sideload apps onto an Android device.
Wow, that's I mean, Epic is one of the hugest. It's pretty massive. Their company, really popular here in the States. Produces a lot of video games, and Fortnite being one of their best.
They have their own store on PC as well. And one thing that stands out about the Epic Store as opposed to some of its competitors like the Windows Store or even Steam is that when they put their platform out there, they release with more favorable deals to other developers that were going to put games and software on their platform.
It's true.
So instead of taking 33% off the top, they had made deals that would go, as low as like 12%.
Oh wow. And
and scale up, depending on like how much money your software was making. So I mean, it seems to be that they seem to be moving in a developer friendly fashion. It's very interesting to see them kind of take a strong stance against the companies that develop and run the platforms that the majority of their players are playing on. Despite the fact that Fortnite is really, really popular, most people are playing on their phones or tablet devices as opposed to consoles and their PCs.
Quite a bit. I definitely interested to see how that kind of turned the tides per se, because then maybe another big company would do marginally the same. Because if you're thinking about just for percentages cost, imagine having full revenue, and then because you're partnered going through access, much like my music is being streamed to Spotify, they take a percentage cut, and then you get just some of it. Let's say they take like 10% or whatever, you only make 90%, and then you have to pay out all your employees. So that definitely limits everything else. That 10% could essentially be more beneficial to you. Obviously you made it, so I definitely
it's an interesting circumstance, right? It's like, you could argue that you wouldn't have a software success like Fortnite without having established digital marketplaces for people to reach out and find your software, right? Like, if you can't sell it on the PlayStation Store, the Nintendo Store, or Xbox, or Steam, or, well, not Steam in particular, but Google or Apple, like, where are you putting your stuff in the places in which people are?
Yeah.
And not only are they there, but they've kind of proven that they're willing to spend the money for a premium experience.
Yeah. Hey. I'm all for it. I'm definitely interested. It's video games have been such a big part of what we do
2020
here.
2020 is such a weird year. and this story is actually what kind of got me to try out Fortnite.
Fortnite's a great game, man.
Yeah. Like I downloaded it on the Switch and then tried it out on the PC.
It's a fun little just shooter kind of player, and my wife is having a blast just literally just playing it. I never really thought that she would get into PvP kind of style, because she never really enjoyed that kind of thing, and then now she's just like all up for it. So hey, to each their own, I'm assuming, but nothing too crazy. Let's get on to some food news. Sean, are you ready for this? There's not too many.
Oh yeah, man.
But it is August. Can you guess what's happening in August, Sean?
Oh no.
Let's bring it up into the big screen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't already, we are the best news in the internet about food happening related live on YouTube. Oh, by the way, we got 2 new subscribers, by the way. Shout out to the 2 people on YouTube subscribing to us. Hey, much welcome. Hopefully you enjoy the content. Any questions? Let us know. However, fall season.
Hit us up.
Sean, what do we look forward to in our restaurants in the fall season?
Oh boy, it's that pumpkin spice time.
Pumpkin spice time, a lot of fall veggies. We're talking butternut. We're talking acorns. Anything root veggie wise that is the most prominent in our restaurants during this time of year. You can still have access to any of the proteins. That's easily accessible. But the vegetables is what kind of tune you into that wintry kind of thing. A lot of pumpkin spice, a lot of apple, a lot of cinnamon. Hold that thing. However, Pop-Tarts, Sean, are coming out with a pumpkin pie. How do you feel about this? I've never seen this actually.
Yeah, I've never seen it either. I'll say this: if I see it in the store, I guess I'll try it out.
Yeah, are you a pumpkin pie guy kind of guy?
Yeah, I mean, I'm more of a sweet potato pie guy, but look, if Pop-Tarts does that, I'll see them on that. But I think this is as close as we're gonna get right now.
Yeah, this is a pumpkin pie Pop-Tarts. At least this is in Walmart.
Pie Pop-Tarts
will be available for $3.68. For $4, you can have 4 pieces of pumpkin pie in Pop-Tart format. I dig it. Not too crazy. Costco is selling apple crumbles. They come in their own reusable ceramic pots. Sean, I just wanted to get your brain on this. Its own ceramic pot, reusable. So technically,
So is it a pot with free apple crumbles?
I think
apple
so.
Crumbles with the free pot.
I don't,
because it says pots on the thing.
What is going on? We previously highlighted the chocolate fudge lava cakes and the top upside down lemon cakes from the UK-based Pots and Co. Now our stomachs are swooning over the brand's upside apple and cinnamon crumbles that comes in this little pot. I think we're just paying for the pot, Sean. That's what it is.
Yeah, I think.
Did they say how much this is? They don't even say. I'm assuming this is gonna be $6, right?
$7.
You can have a little mini casserole for your home at this color. I guess if you're trying to set it up that way, I guess it's okay. This is kind of interesting. I don't know why. It has nothing to do with food, but a rare blue moon will light up the night sky this Halloween. Sean, maybe the more crazies will be out there. How are you going to spend your Halloween? Let me ask you. This has been a question I've been seeing around the internet, at least in our circle of favorites and friends. Like, how will you spend your Halloween? How do you usually spend it?
Hopefully with a regular paycheck.
A lot.
2020, man. You asking too much, man.
That's a lot. Okay, how about
there's a lot of time between now and then, man.
How about we go with, how does your usual Halloween look like?
Honestly, usually I'm working. So
okay,
yeah, that's how that goes.
Forget that you're working.
But
before,
yeah,
how would you usually translate Halloween? Let's think about high school days.
When I lived in the suburbs in Pennsylvania, I mean, we would be in a house and be gearing up for the trick or treaters to show up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it was cool there because the houses are far apart, and the neighbors would kind of like fill up their car with their little minivans, and pull up to the house. All the kids hop out. You give them their candies, they bounce, and you kind of do that until you run out. So that would be Halloween.
My only Halloween experience, let's just say, was when I first moved in Queens, or when I first came over here to the States. We were in Queens. My mother didn't really let us out because, one, we were in Queens, kind of the iffy side too by Jamaica, so it's like a little sketchy. For Halloween, you would just go around your apartment building, so you would hit every floor with like a garbage bag. That's like pretty common, I'm assuming. You just like trick or treating. They throw the freaking
bounce through your apartment.
Yeah, they just throw the candy to you, and just like, wow, people just give you candy. I don't understand this. We didn't have this in the Philippines. We don't go around every freaking house to go and say trick or treat and they give you candy. That's kind of illegal. But
yeah, man, I
in
wonder,
the States, it's like
what
different.
is trick or treating in the year of 2020 COVID like?
Would you? Okay, so here's the reason I brought that up. There's a pretty strong meme that's kind of going around. They were saying adults will go around in cars with candy, while children are like this with their bags and just throw in the fucking candies at them. Happy trick or treat. I thought that was hilarious. I was like, yes, I would like to be out. Can I sign up somewhere, please? I would like that. But a rare blue moon will light up the sky if you're outside in Halloween for trick or treat. KFC is donating 1 million pieces of chicken to help feed the new wave of frontline workers. I'm all for it. My wife works for the hospital, so she's all about this. How do you feel about fried chicken, Sean? I want to premise this for everybody listening. When Sean and I work, I never made fried chicken 1 second. This dude made fried chicken like 10 or 15 times.
That's because like our family meal budget required that like we had to like use chicken. So like you just run out of different ways to make chicken. I mean, we were going through it.
That is true.
Fry it, grill it, bake it, pull it, turn it into chicken sandwiches, turn it into like we were going through it. But yeah, I was definitely on that fry it wave from time to time.
Sean was a frying. Sean, the stat. Yeah, okay. Saturday comes in, everybody's nice. Like, what the hell's happening? Why is people nice? They're like, oh my god, Sean just made fried chicken. That's why. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. But KFC, shout out to KFC for donating 1 million pieces of chicken to help feed the new wave of frontline. Let's keep on going.
Let's get it done.
Aldi.
Dude, let me wait.
Okay, before I get into this, go ahead.
Not to make everything about video games all the time. Okay. But. So, there's a game on Steam, right? It is a Japanese dating sim in which you go to college with a young Colonel Sanders.
What? Do you know what it's called?
I kid you not. Hold on. I have to have my Steam open because
I'm gonna look it up right
it's
now.
called I Love You, Colonel Sanders.
I love you, Colonel
And it is
Sanders.
I love you, Colonel Sanders. Type it in. I'm shit you not.
Is this for real? What?
It is for real. It is for real. It is an anime style dating sim in which you go to culinary school and one of your classmates is Colonel Sanders.
Wow.
It is free. I know it's totally an advertisement, but like I had to check it out. And I think I played like 20 minutes of it. It's weird.
We're playing it.
But
play
it's
the
real.
little intro right now.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
The more you know, Sean. The more you know.
The more you know.
I'll definitely check that out.
All these.
So all the UK now is in our feed. Sean is releasing a line of vegan food for the holiday season. It just seems that we just cannot get away from Aldi. Ever since that occurring day that I had at Aldi, they will always be a part of my life now. Christmas may not be here, but the gifts are definitely rolling in early with Aldi's upcoming release of its delicious new vegan holiday options. I'm assuming this was it a pig in a blanket outside the blanket?
Yes. Yeah, I was gonna say it's a pig on a beach blanket.
Is this what's it called? Would it be? I'm trying to. Okay, so it's a soy-based vegan turkey. Yeah, soy-based. Okay, so it's a soy sausage.
So, yeah, I was gonna like veggie meatless in a blanket.
Okay, in a beach blanket. You know what? They tried. Okay, that's what I'm gonna say.
It looks interesting.
It does look interesting. Let's go hop on to Food and Wine. Jose Andres gives update on World Central Kitchen's relief efforts in Beirut. If people have not been listening or know what the news is going on right now, a big explosion is happening in Beirut. One of the most infamous chefs, Jose Andres, has been giving out some food over there. Less than a day after the massive deadly explosion rocked Beirut, Lebanon on August 4th, Chef Jose Andres, charitable nonprofit World Central Kitchen, had already sent over a team to the city to feed the needy. This is how it should be, man. If you're a multi-million-dollar chef, I think this. Okay, I can't speak for everybody, right? For all the chefs. Mm-hmm. If I had that money right away, boom, I would definitely do something like that. Or even if this didn't happen, I want to have an organization that always fed somebody in need, because that's what we do.
The World Central Kitchen is the truth. I mean, if there are people in need, and an infrastructure to deliver, the food to them, they're generally on the ground to get it done.
Yeah, man.
So shout out to the World Central Kitchen.
They're pretty amazing to what they do. Dunkin' is dropping its pumpkin spice latte earlier than ever this year because of COVID reasons. Sean, let's get it out of the way. Dunkin' or Starbucks? Where would you put the greater than sign to?
All right.
This is the biggest.
Give me Dunkin' over Starbucks.
Yep, I agree.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's just marketing, but Dunkin' comes across as less pretentious, and yeah.
Dunkin',
give me that.
Dunkin' actually has like addicts on their staff, just trying to make coffee.
Oh, I
flavors.
think you meant sleeping inside their restaurants.
Well, that too.
I was gonna say yes, they do. They definitely do here in the city. I mean, a little less of that going on now with COVID, but yeah.
Just like for recipe testing and all that, I think Dunkin' really takes it seriously, and I think Starbucks is just a gimmick, and it's like the cool kids kind of hang into it. It's whatever, right? But if we were to say Dunkin' or Starbucks, I would say Dunkin' Donuts all the time. However, their coffee chain will start this August 19th. So when is that? That is Wednesday next week. So you should, if you are a Dunkin' Donut purveyor, this will be available to you next Wednesday. And then one final thing, this kind of tickles my fancy because my wife my wife and I eat this particular honey or anything. If you've ever had, or let me ask you this: have you ever had honey on your pizza?
I have not.
Yo, you're missing out.
I don't think I've ever done the closest thing I've ever had is like barbecue sauce. When I'm thinking like sweet over the pizza or like pineapples, but like no, never had honey pizza.
Hot honey on top of a spicy salami top pizza or like a spicy pepperoni. Yo, gives it like something. It gives you that edge. Like I'm gonna say, it's delicious. This company in particular, Mike's Hot Honey, we have this in the house. So good. I just want to kind of shout out to them.
Okay.
Hot honey. What is it? It's hot sauce and honey. I don't know what the reason for this whole paragraph 4 is. However, you can purchase this for $10 on Amazon. You can make it yourself. Literally take honey and your favorite hot sauce. Ta-da. But not too crazy. That is it for the food news. Like I said, nothing too fancy during this time of year. The only major event calendar wise is Labor Day, which is in September 7th, and that falls on a Monday. But COVID season, that's definitely, should I just say season? Should I just say year? COVID year is just kind of taking over everything else. However, some signs, if you listen to the music, some signs are slowing down in some parts. Some signs are still kind of doing steady. But please be careful. Please be safe. Don't be stupid. I know, whatever you believe in, wear a mask. Just wear a mask. Okay, it'll keep your germs to your face for you, keeps their germs to their face for them. Everybody is in a happy day. But like I mentioned, we are live every time we are on for now. You can catch all our episodes of Chef Salty Pork on YouTube. You can hit up Sean on MetroCard X on Twitter. And you can have any questions whatsoever, come to us at AskChefSalty.com at Gmail. Sean, hit him with a final word of the day, I should say.
All right, so here's my final word of the day. And it's going to come across as a bit of a commercial.
Ooh.
But honestly, it's been 5 weeks, or rather not 5 weeks, but 5 months since Corona's kind of touched down. And in those 5 months, I'd like to think that most or all of us have been affected in some different ways. Maybe you're out of work. Maybe you had to work a little differently, and kind of reinvent yourself in this time. I want to give a shout out to some of the homies, John Michael and Satal. What they've been doing. They've been doing some chef prepared meals for delivery and for pickup. Tonight was actually the first time like I ordered from them.
Oh yeah.
And they did like chicken parm, seafood pasta, came with linguine and a surprise dessert and some rum punch.
Wow.
They're just like the food was good. The dessert was awesome. The rum punch was mixed well, and again, this doesn't seem like something they would have been doing otherwise, but they've been getting it done, and making their deliveries, in Jersey and into New York. Again, I'm in Brooklyn, and I was like, hey, you guys really gonna make it out? And sure enough,
he delivered it.
The homie showed up.
Oh wow.
He, showed up. When we ate, and it was really really good. So, if you're interested, you can hit up, John Michael. I'm going to drop his number.
Yeah.
It's 860-319-1346. Hit up the homie. If you're looking for a really good meal, and, helping out people who are really producing, like, really, really good food, that's something you could do. But it's just, an example of, like, how you can, reinvent yourself in uncertain times and make things a little bit more certain. So that's my word. I know it's a bit of a commercial, but
all right.
Shout out to the homies.
Shout out to the homies, man. If we're there to adapt, and he is adapting in his own way.
Your dessert was awesome.
There you go. Shout out to John. I'll actually make sure his Facebook link is down below. I've seen it. It actually called him a few weeks back, and we were kind of chatting and how he's kind of producing this stuff, and we were kind of comparing notes on how to go about, like, again, he's producing this in his home kitchen, not a professional kitchen. So different preparations altogether. So it's a little harder in a home setting. But hey, you're getting it done. He knows the T's and the I's and the dots and what's not. But all that, not too crazy. Sean, to everybody else, have a good night. Be safe, and we love you.
That's it.
But for now.
That's right. Peace out, internet.